everybody. Hope you guys are doing good today. I wanted to go ahead and do your math lesson with you guys. So today we are doing math lesson 113. All right, I sent home 3 worksheets with that. There's this one, your class fact practice. This here with money on it. And the guided class practice, okay? So you should have those 3 things. You're going to need a pencil, eraser. We might need colors. Maybe not. It's a good idea to always get the pencil box though when you're doing school if you aren't. All right, so if you need to get those things out, go ahead and pause the video. All right, so go ahead and jump right in here. I'm going to do this with you guys. We did this same thing yesterday. We have math fact review up here. And then down here we have where you need to look and say it, write and say it 3 times, and then cover, write, and then check it. All right? So you guys go ahead and work those. It'll be 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so go ahead and work those. If you need to pause the video, you can. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill it in too, and then I'll show you guys my answers. So I'll let you know when I'm finished, and if you're still working, you can pause, okay? Be sure that you are writing your numbers in a way that I can read them. See the size of my numbers and my answers? Okay, your numbers should look something like that. Okay, we talked about that a little bit before the break, but some of you, making these giant numbers all over these papers, it just looks messy. Okay, so you should always be aiming to make your answer at least close to the size of the question. All right, so just be thinking about that as you're answering them. All right, I am finished with that top portion. If you're not quite finished, go ahead and pause the video and work on those for a sec, just because looking at my answers is great, but I want you guys to be able to think for yourselves, be able to figure out what the answers are. Okay, so go ahead and pause it if you're not done. All right, so here are my answers for the top portion. Just trying to look over it. If you see something that jumps out at you that, oh no, that's not what you thought the answer was, have a look at it, see if it makes sense. And then we're going to go ahead and come down here. All right. So look and say. So we need to look at it and say it. So first one, it says 7 plus 4 equals 11. Familiar. Okay. All right. So 7 plus 4 equals 11. I looked at it. I said it out loud. Now I need to write it and say it 3 times. So 7 plus 4 equals 11. 7 plus 4 equals 11. 7 plus 4 equals 11. All right. Now they want me to cover it, write it, and check it. All right, so I'm going to cover up my answers, and I'm going to write 7 plus 4 equals 11. All right, I'm going to uncover, I'm going to look, and I'm going to say, yay, I got it right. All right, so now I'm going to come down and do this one. 7 plus 5 equals 12. Also familiar. That one, yeah. Okay. All right, so 7 plus 5 equals 12. I looked at it and I said it. Now I need to write it and say it 3 times. 7 plus 5 equals 12. 7 plus 5 equals 12. 7 plus 5 equals 12. All right, so now I need to cover it, write it, and check it. So I'm going to cover up my answers. I'm going to write it again. 7 plus 5 equals 12. All right, and then I'm going to uncover. I'm going to check it. Oh, yay, I got it right again. All right. All right, so if you need some more time on that worksheet, you can pause me and restart me when you are ready. All right. Now, I gave you guys this worksheet mostly for fun. If we were in school, we would have cut them out and we would have bought, traded them with each other to buy things in the classroom. We did a lesson like that a few weeks before the break. So just later on, you guys can cut out the money and you can walk around the house and buy things from your family or something, okay? But I almost left it out because we weren't going to be able to do it, but I thought you might have fun with it. Okay, so we're not doing that one necessarily as work right now. All right, but when you use money, I think you guys did a really good job when we did it in class before. But when you use money, okay, a $20 bill, there's going to be change depending on what you're buying, right? So think about that. If you're doing it for fun around the house, don't try to make it hard. Think about like if I want to buy something that is $7 and I give you 10, then what would my change be? $3. You don't need to necessarily make it like $4.26 or anything like that, because then you'll not have that change and stuff. All right. Okay, so we're going to go right into our other worksheet since we're not really going to spend time buying things with our money. All right. All right, so I've got this worksheet. You're going to get it ready. You're going to need your pencil, maybe some colors. We'll see as we go through it. Okay, so it is the guided class practice 113. Make sure you're on the A side. I'm not making you guys do the B sides of these, okay? All right, so it says draw a 3-inch line segment for your name, okay? So get that ruler out, line it up with the dot where the ruler begins to measure the inches. And then you're going to go until you get to the 3 this time. Don't stop at the 2 like we've been doing, okay? And then they want date and day of the week. All right. So today's date is April 9th, 2020. Okay. April is the 4th month of the year. So 4/9/20. April 9th, 2020. Okay. And today is Thursday. Okay. So get that written in there. All right. And number 1 says write the number 102 on the place value chart. Okay. So we have our place value chart, just like up on our student of the day board, hundreds, tens, and ones place. Okay. So we're writing the number 102. Okay. I'm going to write it. Okay. All right. So 102, we have no tens. Okay. We didn't say, 22 or 32, any of that. So we have no tens. And then we have 2 ones. So we have 100 and 2 ones. Okay. All right. So now they want us to circle the digit that tells us the number of ones, which I just told you. We have 2 ones. So we're going to circle that. All right. All right, number 2. Ellen has 10 corn chips. She will share them equally with Anthony. Draw a plate for each child. Draw the corn chips on the plate to show how many corn chips each child will have. All right, so how many kids are we dealing with here? There's Ellen, and then she's going to share them equally with Anthony. Okay, so that's 2 kids. Ellen and Anthony. Okay, so in this box here, I'm just going to draw 2 plates. You don't have to be fancy or anything. Okay. All right. So we have 2 plates, one for Ellen and one for Anthony. All right, now we need to put the corn chips on the plates, and they're going to share them equally. Equally means they're going to get the same amount. So they must be brother and sister. All right, so there's 10 corn chips altogether. All right, so you can do a few things here. You can go ahead and decide ahead of time if you know what the answer is, if you know 2 equal numbers that equal 10, if you know your math facts, if you know your doubles and your sums of 10, you should know the answer there, okay? But if you don't, we'll keep going, all right? So you can think about that. How do I divide 10 in half? Remember, half is going to be equal on both sides, okay? All right, so I'm not sure what the answer is, so I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to put 1 corn chip on each plate until I have 10, okay? So I don't know how you guys draw a corn chip, but mine are just going to be kind of like little crinkles. So I've got 1. Okay, so now I'm going to put 1 on the other plate. So now I've got 2. All right, so now I'm going to go back over to Ellen's plate. So now I've got 3. Put 1 on Anthony's plate. 4. Put 1 on Ellen's plate. 5. Okay, put 1 on Anthony's plate. 6. Put 1 on Ellen's plate. 7. Now I'm going to put 1 on Anthony's plate. 8. Back to Ellen's plate. 9. Over to Anthony's plate. 10. All right, I'm out of corn chips. All right, so now I'm going to count and see what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5 corn chips on each plate. All right, so if I count back through them, make sure it's 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's 10 total corn chips. They're sharing them equally, so there's 5 on each plate. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so then they ask us, how many corn chips will Anthony have? Well, if they're both having 5, Anthony will have 5 corn chips. Okay, all right, number 3. Jennifer put the Lincoln cubes in trains of 10. Okay, so you can see over here, remember when they have those groups there, we believe them. Okay, so they say that they're trains of 10, so you don't even have to count them. So there's 1, 2, 3 trains of 10, and then we have some extras. Okay, how many Lincoln cubes does she have altogether? Okay, so if I have 3 10s, how much is that? You don't know? All right, let's count by 10s. We have 10, 20, 30. So 3 10s is 30. All right, and then we have 2 extras out here. So you can think about this as your tens place. So there's 3 of them, so that would be 3. And your ones place would be 2. Or, you know that 3 10s is 30, 31, 32. Okay, whichever way that makes sense to you, run with that. Okay, so my tens place is a 3 because I have 3 10s. My ones place is a 2 because I have 2 out there by themselves. So your answer is 32. Okay, because 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, or 3 in my tens place, 2 in my ones place. Okay, so 32 either way. All right. All right, number 4. Mrs. King lost 2 of her number cards for the numbers 50 to 59. Okay, which number cards did she lose? All right, so she's got a bunch of number cards out here, but 2 of them got lost, and we need to figure out which one she's missing. Now, she tells us that they're between 50 and 59. Okay, so let's go through them and find each number card and figure out which one is missing. All right, so the first one, she says 50, so we've got 50. Does anybody see 51? I do. There's 51. Do we see 52? There's 52. Do we see 53? No. I don't see 53. So I'm going to write that on one of the cards. Okay. So we go from 52 to 53. All right. What about 54? There it is. 55. Good. Is there a 56? Yes, there is. 57. Now, do we see 58? I don't. I see 59. That's the last one, but I don't see 58. So that must be what goes here. All right. But nobody's perfect, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to double check, okay? 51. See, nobody's perfect. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59. We did that good, right? All right, so you should have 53 and 58 because they are the missing number cards. Number 5 says, show 10:30 on both clocks. Okay, so 10:30. If you remember, that's just half of the hour that is past 5. So the number that comes after 5 is 6. So you are somewhere between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. They're telling you that you're halfway between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock because it is 5:30. All right. So how many minutes are in an hour? 60, hopefully is what you said. All right. Half of that would be 30, right? All right. So 10:30 is 10:30. Hopefully you guys got that and you're bored waiting for me to keep going. Okay. All right. So now we got to put it on this one. All right. So if it is 10:30, my shorthand needs to be past the 10, but it is not 11 yet, okay? Make sure that you make the hand short enough that it's obvious it's the shorthand. And you want to put it between that 10 and 11. It's not right at 10 o'clock anymore because we're half past it. It was 10 o'clock half an hour ago. Okay, but we're not to 11 yet, so we don't want to go too far. Okay? All right, so now we need our minute hand. That's the long one. All right, so if it's 10:30 on the face clock, you don't even have to remember that that means 30 minutes. You're just doing half of the face clock. So that minute hand is going to point at that 6 down at the bottom. Make sure that you make it long enough that it is obvious that that is the long hand. Okay, so 10:30 is in between the 10 and the 11, and your minute hand pointing down at your 6. Okay, all right. Number 6, find the answers. Okay, so we're adding 10 to numbers again. All right, so we have 53 plus 10. If you look at your tens place, you have a 5 and you have a 1. 5 plus 1 is 6, right? All right, so then we look at our ones place. We have a 3 and we have a 0. 3 plus 0, 3. Very good. All right, so the answer is 63. If you think about it like you're counting by tens, 53, 63. Okay. All right, the next one, 21 plus 10. Look at your tens place. You have a 2 and you have a 1. 2 plus 1, 3. Okay, then I'm going to look at my ones place. I have a 1 and I have a 0. 1 plus 0, if you've got 1 cookie and I give you 0 cookies, you still have 1 cookie. All right, so 21 plus 10 equals 31. Or 21, 31 if you're counting by tens, because it would be 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, 60. Okay, so 10 more than 21 is 31. All right, then we have 84 plus 10. All right, we look at our tens place. We have an 8 and we have a 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. All right, and then we look at our ones place. 4 and a 0. 4 plus 0 equals, if you're adding nothing to it, you just keep that 4. So 84 plus 10 equals 94. Okay, so you can say 84, 94. Like if you were to start from the beginning counting by tens, 4, 14, 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 74, 84, 94. Or you look at it like you're just changing that tens place right there. Okay. All right. So hopefully that made sense. I hope that you guys are doing good. You can entertain your family by showing them how you understand money by playing with your money, or if you're busy and don't feel like doing that, it's not a big deal. Okay, but on here you have $1 bills. You have a bunch of those. And then you have some $5 bills, $10 bills, and $20 bills. Okay, so if you can remember any of the facts that we learned about money before the break, you can entertain your family, tell them all the things that you know about that, or you can simply, buy things around the house. Um, just kind of try to flex your brain a little bit with that money. I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope to see your sweet little faces soon.